Cyber attacks may not be something you think about in your everyday life, but they are absolutely something to understand happen all the time, all over the world. Because there are various hacker groups and individuals who one day decide to go and break the rules in various ways, and it's up to groups like the FBI to go and try and catch them. Which is not easy since you can hide yourself and your computer on the internet in various ways. So, given that, allow us to show you the ways the FBI caught the world's most wanted hackers. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. 7. Commander X. Commander X is a well-known hacker in the world. Though, if you're curious, his real name is Christopher Doyon, which makes it more understandable why he wants to be known as Commander X, don't you think? Regardless, he is part of Anonymous, and he's been on the run from authorities for well over a year because of his exploits. Exploits of which he makes videos by putting on the Guy Fawkes mask that Anonymous loves to use and ridicules the people who are trying to catch him, like the FBI. He's revealed a lot about himself and his hacking abilities via these videos. His story is an interesting one, we'll admit. He started out as just a hacker in the group to being a leader of it. Impressive, most impressive. His hacking resume, if you will, includes hacking websites of various governments, like the one of Santa Cruz in protest of how they were treating their homeless population. But then, he went on and hacked Egypt to get data on all their citizens during the protests they were having. Commander X was caught by the FBI, to be clear, and was even sentenced for his crimes. But after being released on bail, he used an underground railway system he created to get activists out of the US to go and flee to Canada. No, really, that's how he got away, and he's still on the run. Like we said, this guy is smart. 6. Hector Monsegur. Anonymous is a very large group. That's why they're such a threat in the cyber world, and another member of that group that made an impact via his hacking ability was Hector Monsegur. Many feel he was a born hacker because of how quickly he picked it up when he was young and how he continued to grow throughout his time with Anonymous and beyond. For the record, he got into hacking to help his family. He would steal credit card data to help get the bills paid and get his family a better life. This is what led him to Anonymous. Once with the group, he was given grander and grander assignments, including one where he hacked the website of the Tunisian Prime Minister and supported the protests that were being made against the country. Now, if he just kept doing his jobs, he would have been okay. But his sense of self grew in a bad way. He saw himself as a bit of a Robin Hood kind of hacker and decided to do more and more grand attacks, which eventually led him to hacking an FBI website. And he was caught shortly after and was facing 124 years in jail for his crimes. So he turned informant and started to help the FBI and the US government stop cyber attacks. And he was very good at that job, as well as he prevented over 300 cyber attacks in just a couple of years. So if you think about it, he really came full circle. He started hacking to help people, and now he's helping people in a much more pure way this time around. 5. Marcus Hutchins. Marcus Hutchins is known as the man who saved the internet, which is a very curious thing to say about a person who is also a very skilled hacker. But there's a purpose behind that nickname, as you'll discover soon. When he was young, Marcus very much had a mind that was linked to computers in a good way. Even his parents realized it and made sure that he got good training in computers. The problem, though, was that Marcus was so good at computers that his classes bored him because they were going so slow. So he just decided to teach himself things by reading books and manuals and such. This was his beginning as a hacker. When he finally got his own computer, he started creating programs to do things like stealing passwords from email accounts via Internet Explorer. He was so good at what he did that he quit school and started putting up his services for hire on the dark web, which he made a lot of money making various hacking programs because his skills were indeed that good. Here's the start of how he got his nickname. You see, a virus was going around the internet and was so powerful that it was deleting data from just about every user it touched. whole swaths of data was being erased forever. Marcus found out about this and went to work, killing the virus and saving the internet. When he was arrested for his crimes, the judge presiding over the case realized that he had done more good than bad, and thus cleared him of all charges. 4. Eric Taylor. This is Eric Taylor, aka Cosmo the God. He started hacking when he was just 12 years old and was very much a prodigy. Though, unlike many hackers, he wasn't really interested in the money or fame he'd get. He just wanted to experience more and more of the process of hacking and doing it successfully. He just wanted to have fun hacking and apparently didn't mind doing illegal things to continue his fun, which led him to go and find other like-minded hackers and started stealing data from sites like Amazon and Netflix. Eventually, Eric's team got bored, so they started to screw with the police, sending them on calls to places that had no danger or threat. Once he got his giggles on that, he went after celebrities and stole data from Tiger Woods, Kim Kardashian, and even Michelle Obama. But he did eventually get caught, and not unlike a hacker from before, became a good guy, and now works as a cybersecurity consultant to help prevent cyber attacks from happening. We doubt he's bored there, but even if he was, it doesn't really matter now, does it? 3. Martin Shkreli. You remember that name, Martin Shkreli, and that was because he made a pharmaceutical company that almost bankrupted people. This is well and truly a bad guy hacker, as we're about to detail. He was actually making it so that people who needed to get HIV medicine would have to pay 5,000% more than they were before. He was getting that money and not giving any medicine back, which of course raised a lot of eyebrows and eventually led him to getting arrested and put behind bars, where he absolutely belongs. The Pharma Bro, as he is known now, actually tried to use the global pandemic to get out of jail so that he could help research a way to cure it. His request was denied. 2. La Cosa Nostra. While not your typical kind of hacker, La Cosa Nostra was a crime family who had been under the watchful eye of the FBI for quite some time. And in the course of just one night, they had managed to go and arrest over 130 members of the crime family. That's a feat any government agency would be proud of. The operation was well planned out, and it featured members of both the FBI and the police going and getting the job done. These crime families use things like hacking alongside their more violent crimes to ruin lives and take advantage of various systems, thus making it all the more important that the FBI were able to arrest a large amount of them. And number 1, Kevin Mitnick. When Kevin Mitnick was growing up, the computer and internet ages were really just starting out. Companies from all over the world were going digital, thinking that no one could access their data. Mitnick proved that was very, very wrong. He was a teenager when he was starting out his hacker life, and yet within no time, he went after companies like IBM and quickly became the most wanted hacker in the world. He was eventually caught after years of hacking schemes, and after spending a few years in jail, he got out and started his own cybersecurity firm. And when that wasn't enough for him, he started to sell hacking software to legitimate companies. He was using it to sell items to various companies and corporations and even governments, which meant that he was now a legal hacker and selling his wares. If you're curious, he's thriving because of this, which has made a lot of people nervous because of the dangerous precedent this sets. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various hackers of the world who tried to get away with various deeds, and yet the FBI caught them, if only temporarily? Were you surprised by some of the stories behind these hackers and why they did what they did? Or what happened to them after they got caught by the FBI? Do you think the FBI will be able to keep up with the growing cyber dangers that are out there? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.